Today our topic is how to deal with change the Stoic way. Life is full of changes, big and small, expected and unexpected. Some changes bring joy, while others bring challenges. But no matter what, change is a part of life, and learning how to handle it is one of the most important skills we can develop. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers timeless wisdom on how to face change with calmness, strength, and clarity. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. This idea is at the heart of dealing with change. The first step is to accept that change is natural. Everything in life is temporary. Seasons change, relationships evolve, jobs come and go, and even our own bodies and minds change over time. Fighting against this reality only leads to frustration and suffering. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to embrace change as a natural part of existence. When we accept that change is inevitable, we can stop resisting it and start adapting to it. A key Stoic principle is the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. We cannot control external events, the actions of others, or even many of the circumstances of our own lives. But we can control our thoughts, our attitudes, and our actions. This is where our power lies. When change happens, instead of focusing on what we cannot control, we should focus on what we can. For example, if you lose your job, you cannot change the fact that it happened, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to see it as an opportunity to grow, learn new skills, or pursue a different path. You can choose to stay positive and take proactive steps to move forward. This shift in focus can make all the difference. Another Stoic tool for dealing with change is to practice gratitude. Change often brings loss, and loss can be painful. But even in difficult times, there's always something to be grateful for. Stoicism teaches us to appreciate what we have, even as we face challenges. For instance, if you are going through a breakup, you might feel sadness and loss. But you can also be grateful for the lessons you learned, the good memories you made, and the chance to grow as a person. Gratitude helps us find light in the darkness and keeps us grounded in the present moment. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of perspective. When faced with change, it is easy to get caught up in negative emotions like fear, anger, or sadness. But Stoics remind us that these emotions are often based on our interpretations of events, not the events themselves. By changing our perspective, we can change how we feel. For example, instead of seeing a difficult change as a disaster, we can see it as a test of our character or an opportunity to become stronger. This shift in perspective can help us stay calm and resilient in the face of adversity. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote reminds us that our inner world is where we have the most control. When change happens, we can choose to focus on our inner strength rather than on external circumstances. This does not mean ignoring our emotions or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging our feelings without letting them overwhelm us. We can feel sad, angry, or scared, but we do not have to let these emotions control us. Instead, we can observe them, learn from them, and then let them go. Another important Stoic practice is to prepare for change before it happens. This does not mean living in fear or constantly expecting the worst. It means being mentally and emotionally ready for whatever life brings. Stoics often used a technique called premeditatio malorum, which means the premeditation of evils. This involves imagining the worst-case scenarios and thinking about how we would handle them. By doing this, we reduce the fear of the unknown and build our resilience. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, you can imagine what you would do if it happened. You might think about updating your resume, learning new skills, or exploring other career options. This preparation can give you a sense of control and confidence, even in the face of uncertainty. Stoicism also teaches us to focus on the present moment. Change often brings anxiety about the future or regret about the past. But the only moment we truly have is the present. By focusing on what we can do right now, we can reduce stress and take meaningful action. For example, if you are worried about a big change in your life like moving to a new city, you can focus on the steps you need to take today. You can research the new area, plan your move, or connect with people who live there. By taking small, actionable steps, you can make the change feel more manageable. Another Stoic principle is to practice self-discipline. Change often requires us to adapt, and adaptation takes effort. It is easy to fall into old habits or resist new ways of doing things. But Stoicism teaches us that self-discipline is essential for growth. By practicing self-discipline, we can build the mental and emotional strength needed to handle change. For example, if you are trying to adopt a healthier lifestyle after a health scare, you might need to change your diet, exercise more, or quit smoking. These changes require self-discipline, but they also lead to long-term benefits. Finally, Stoicism reminds us to focus on what truly matters. In the face of change, it is easy to get caught up in external things like money, status, or possessions. But Stoics teach us that these things are not within our control and do not bring lasting happiness. What truly matters is our character, our values, and our relationships. By focusing on these internal qualities, we can find peace and fulfillment, no matter what changes come our way. For example, if you lose a material possession, you might feel upset at first. But if you focus on your inner strength and the love of your family and friends, you will realize that you have not lost what truly matters. In conclusion, dealing with change the Stoic way is about acceptance, focus, gratitude, perspective, preparation, presence, self-discipline, and focusing on what truly matters. Change is a natural part of life, and it can be challenging. But by applying Stoic principles, we can navigate change with calmness, strength, and resilience. Remember, you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This is your power. Use it wisely, and you will find that you can handle any change that comes your way. Life is a journey full of ups and downs, but with Stoic wisdom you can face it with courage and grace.